OK。
敵遠遠，
你點辦㗎？
旺財送黑肉。
まだ生きてるやつがいる。
咩都唔等我哋嚟。
Inside the Chinese intelligence headquarters, the whole base has been monitoring a gang that has been giving them help for months. Every time the gang robs a different bank and the authorities still can't catch them. Police cars were chasing the gang while intelligence agents guided them through surveillance cameras, but one member of the gang, Simon, a hacker and programming expert, manages to take control of all surveillance cameras in the area and erase any trace of the gang from the footage. The next day is the big operation the gang has been planning. We see an old man about the age of my grandfather, but he clearly looks like a ninja. He slips past all the surveillance cameras around the place, enters a cafe and sits comfortably. At the same time, Officer Wing and his assistant arrive at the house of a businessman named Larry. They inform him that they're from the police and need him to come with them to the bank to unlock the security codes of his account because all his money is at risk of being stolen. Larry hurries into the car with them. Meanwhile, the gang reaches the bank and takes control of it with weapons, but oddly, they don't hurt anyone inside. They're simply waiting for Simon to hack the bank security system and steal Larry's money. All gang members are connected through earpieces. As for the old man, the one who looked like a ninja, turns out he is a ninja. He's the gang leader and the mastermind behind everything. He informs them that the police will arrive in 5 minutes and Simon must finish the hack within those 5 minutes. Simon disables all the surveillance cameras so no one can track them as they escape. Time is running out. Everyone is anxious. If the police arrive before Simon breaches the system, they're all going to end up in handcuffs, but Simon succeeds and transfers all the money into their account. Unfortunately for them, Wing, Larry, and the police team arrive at the bank at the same time. The old man alerts the gang and orders them to evacuate immediately. When Wing enters the bank, the old man gets up to leave, but a barista accidentally takes a picture of him and apologizes. The gang finishes their job and is about to leave when Wing becomes suspicious and tells them to stop. The old man immediately orders them to change the whole plan and escape. A fierce chase starts. The gang beats all the officers with Wing and takes Wing hostage inside the elevator. They lock him in, beat him up inside the elevator, restrain him, and escape. But Wing frees himself quickly and continues chasing them. The gang jumps off the building using parachutes. Wing recklessly grabs a worker who was nearby and jumps with him, landing hard on a bumper, but he gets up and continues to chase. Intelligence keeps tracking the gang and informs Wayne that they're heading to the amusement park. Reinforcements arrive, but the gang fiercely clashes with them and defeats them all. Each gang member escapes in a different direction to confuse the police. The police search everywhere and find nothing. When they finally suspect someone, the gang member changes his disguise instantly. Simon hacks into the hotel cameras again. So, Officer Lin orders all police officers to activate the body cameras with facial recognition. But Simon discovers this trick and orders the gang to avoid any camera they see. Wing manages to spot one gang member, Sheng, and recognizes him from his earring. Simon warns Sheng that the police identified him, so he rushes into a changing room, transforms his appearance into a girl, and confidently walks out with a group of girls escaping successfully. Later, the amusement park show begins. An enormous mechanical tree rises from underground. Everyone is amazed except Lin, who notices it started earlier than usual. The gang uses this moment to jump into the tree and disappear completely. The police lose their trail. Larry enters the bank and finds all his accounts emptied, not a single dollar left. He loses his temper and starts yelling at the police. Back at Intelligence HQ, the director questions Wing and Lin for failing to catch the gang. They explain the gang is extremely smart and even hack the intelligence systems themselves. The director demands they catch them immediately before the scandal spreads. Lin says there's only one person who can catch this gang. The director replies, "You mean Hobie?" She says, "Yes." Wing hates this idea. He says, "Hobie was your old mentor, but I caused his partner's death during the last mission and ruined the biggest drug operation we had." Lin insists it was an accident and they need his help. The director agrees. "I don't care about the past. We need to catch the gang." The next day they send a new police officer named Elena with her partner Chung to watch Hobie. She's new at intelligence, but they treat her like she belongs in the kitchen rather than the field, so they dump the surveillance job on her. Lin watches Hobie walking his dog and hides before he sees her. Elena goes to Hobie's favorite restaurant and waits there. Intel says he comes here every day for tea. She's annoyed because she's stuck watching a 60-year-old man. Hobie arrives, notices her immediately, and walks over. "Aren't you tired of spying on me?" Elena is shocked and pretends she doesn't know what he's talking about. Hobie calmly tells her he knows she's been watching him for exactly 4 hours and 20 minutes, changed her jacket 3 times, and that the guy who was with her on the bus is the same man who accompanied her while spying. She's stunned. Hobie adds, "Even your eyes gave you away." He shakes her hand. We learn Hobie was her father's old partner, the one who died in the last mission. They talk and she tells him the last time she saw him, she was 8 years old. She asks how he recognized her. He says she looks like her father. She finally admits the truth and tells him intelligence needs him. The next day he goes with Len to HQ. He asks to replay the bank footage over and over, then suddenly pauses at a specific second. He marks several people with a pen and says, "These are your targets." Everyone is shocked he identified the entire gang so easily. Meanwhile, at the hideout, Shan hugs Simon. We learned they are brothers. The old man arrives and beats Simon for getting recorded at the cafe. Shan defends his brother and the old man calms down but warns them not to repeat the mistake. Back at Intelligence, they gather all original surveillance footage and project them on a big screen. Wing remembers the cafe. Worker took a picture of the old man, so he orders his team to find her. At the hideout, the old man cooks while talking to Shan. He reminds him how Shan once saved his life and that he gave him a new life in return. He warns them that if anyone discovers his identity, he will kill them himself. Later, Hobie sees the old man's photo and recognizes his face. He tells them this might be the Shadow, a former legendary police officer who no one ever saw clearly. He committed the 3 biggest robberies 15 years ago and vanished. Now he seems to be back. Hobie suggests forming a spy team, but the director refuses. Modern cameras made espionage unnecessary. Later at the gym, Wing provokes Elena, saying women belong in the kitchen, so she beats him up. Hobie watches proud and praises her. She has her father's spirit. The next day, Hobie decides to train a new espionage team himself. He picks his members, Elena included, and teaches them memory and attention to detail. After 2 days of training, he tells them it's time to catch the gang. Train a new espionage team himself. He picks his members, Elena included, and teaches them memory and attention to detail. After 2 days of training, he tells them it's time to catch the gang. They spread across the city. Hobie gives them code names. Elena rides with him. The Shadow meets with his gang and tells them family is more important than money. He apologizes to Simon for shouting at him earlier. Simon visits the orphanage where he and the others grew up. We learned they were all orphans the Shadow raised. Meanwhile, Elena feels useless because everyone is doing missions while she stays in surveillance. Hobie tells her, "You are the most important piece, the winning card." At the hideout, Shan shaves the Shadow's beard. The Shadow senses the knife in his hand and tests him, asking if he wants to kill him. Shung refuses. The Shadow tells him he's the closest to him and wishes him a good life after they get the money. Elsewhere, Elena sees a girl being harassed and wants to intervene. Hobie warns her to stay in the car and call the police, but she ignores him and fights the gang alone. They overpower her, and just before they kill her, Hobie intervenes and saves her. Afterward, he scolds her. She could blow the mission. She says the plan is useless. They've searched for 2 weeks with no progress. Hobie tells her his longest surveillance mission lasted 8 months. She reveals that this was the same mission her father died in, and because of Hobie's mistake, she went a whole year without seeing him. Hobie explains emotionally that he got reckless saving a kidnapped gear, disobeyed orders, and her father got shot because he was left alone with a criminal. He never found out whether the little girl lived or died. She softens and agrees to follow his lead. Later, they see someone who looks like the shadow in the market. The whole team surrounds him discreetly. Elena confirms his identity through a reflection in water. They track him into an elevator where he pulls a knife on her. Hope suddenly enters and pretends to be her father, removes her earpiece discreetly, and gives her earrings. Instead, Hobie offers him an apple, which has a hidden camera, and they successfully capture a clear image of his face. They pretend they live in the same building to avoid suspicion. He buys it and leaves. The camera shows the floor number he went to. The team plants cameras, finds his apartment, and collects his trash, finding torn paper they can't decipher. Hobie decides to get closer. The next day, he accidentally meets the shadow in the market and invites him for dinner. The shadow notices Hobie's tough hands and suspects he shoots guns, but Hobie lies, saying he's been a hotel chef for 10 years. They cook together. The shadow asks about Elena's mother. Hobie says they separated because of his gambling addiction. Elena moved in with him after her mother died. Later, the shadow asks Elena about the scar on her head. She lies, saying it was from a childhood fight. Hobie returns and gives the exact same story without hearing hers. She's amazed. No one ever knew about that. When she asks how he knew, he reveals that after divorcing her mother, he was in debt and feared someone might target them, so he secretly checked on them every day to ensure they were safe. Elena is touched by these words and they change the subject to lighten the mood. After they finish, the shadow leaves, thanking them for the lovely evening. Elena speaks to Hobie and thanks him for what he did, and he tells her it was his duty. She leaves him and heads to intelligence headquarters. Meanwhile, Simon is plotting something new, and it looks like he is about to do something reckless. Back at headquarters, the team is monitoring the shadow sitting in his apartment. Suddenly, there is a knock at the door. He thinks it is Elena, but it turns out to be Shung wearing a mask. Shung attacks him and the two engage in a fierce fight. Simon is watching everything through the cameras. However, strangely, the surveillance monitors at intelligence headquarters show that everything is normal with the shadow sitting quietly. One agent notices a glitch in the cameras and realizes the recording is looping. They realize the gang knows the shadow is being watched and has hacked their feed. They confirm the feed is faked and rush to save Hobie. Simon immediately informs Shung that the police are on their way and he must withdraw. Shan overpowers Hobie, who had intervened near the scene, and flees quickly. The next night, the shadow goes to the orphanage. Hobie and Elena follow him in their car. Hobie keeps thinking about the numbers they found in the trash and deduces that they are braille codes for the blind used by the gang to communicate. Just as he is about to report this information and that the old orphanage in the capital is the location, a car suddenly crashes into them, flipping their vehicle and pushing them into the intelligence outpost perimeter. Meanwhile, the shadow arrives at the orphanage only to find a gang waiting for him. We learn that Simon sent them to eliminate the shadow because the police had compromised him. They think they can easily finish off an old man, but they are surprised to find that he is a beast and a master of martial arts. Using a knife, he kills them one by one without mercy, telling them, "When I was young, I killed over 200 officers at once, so a few thieves won't kill me now." Elsewhere, Hobie and Elena are fighting the gang that rammed their car. Hobie manages to kill 2 of them instantly. The team at headquarters sees the ambush on camera and rushes to help. They arrive just in time, and after a fierce firefight, they eliminate the attackers. Back at the orphanage, the shadow has defeated the entire squad, sent to kill him, though he is covered in blood and injuries. He finds Shung waiting for him. Simon tells his brother to leave immediately, but Shung refuses and faces the shadow alone. The shadow asks him, whose plan is this? Yours or Simon's? Shan says it is his plan and draws his weapon. They fight blow for LB, blow showing high combat skills. Meanwhile, Elena informs Chang about the Braille codes, then the orphanage. Location and the police rush there. Shan and the Shadow are still fighting. Sheng suddenly grabs the Shadow in a bear hug, and they both fall from the second floor. Despite his injuries, the Shadow stands up quickly, grabs Sheng, chokes him and stabs him. Before dying, he is surrounded. Hobie arrives in a car, his neck bandaged. Realizing it is over, the Shadow laughs loudly, praises Elena's strength and surrenders, holding out his hands, but suddenly he pulls a hidden knife to stab her. Elena, proving she is a true ninja, dodges the attack and overpowers him. Finally, the police arrest the Shadow who had evaded them for so long. The mission is over. And here our movie ends. Please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more movie summaries. Goodbye, my friends.